You'll have to forgive the way my hair is slightly wet today, guys, because I cannot wait to get into this song, because today it is Gojira time. I am a huge Gojira fan, have been since Magma came out. As big of a fan as you can be, I think, without having like your whole room just full of like Gojira posters and collecting all the vinyl, you know. But speaking of, just to show you, just to prove that I'm not a faker, check this out. From Mars to Sirius, limited edition, melted colored. So you have like the splash vinyl, it's pretty cool. Anyway, just so you understand, I love this band quite a lot. And they have a new song out that was part of some like NHL games soundtrack, I believe, called Our Time Is Now. From the title alone, it sounds like it has the same vibe going as a lot of the Fortitude material, where the record was about sort of finding like an inner strength in yourself and protesting. Sorry, I just got a Steam message, it distracted me. Protesting against injustices and being strong in the face of, you know, adversity and COVID and all that. Just the world being generally fucked up and trying to find the fortitude to tough it out, you know. It seems like they're sort of going for the same message of sort of unity and like coming together to fight the good fight, you know, for positive change in the world, which I feel like Gojira has always more or less been about, you know, with their sort of environmental like death metal. So it's gonna be crazy interesting to see what they're whipping up. I'm expecting it to sound polished and be maybe a little more laid back, simplistic, not necessarily heavy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's get straight into it. Our time is now. Let's go. You have the classic Gojira taps in there, I like that. Riff is simple, but I like the syncopation. Drums are solid, groove is solid, I like it thus far. Verse sounds a lot like Another World. I like what the rhythm section is doing, but the vocals I'm not really sure how to feel about. This was an issue for me as well on the Fortitude record, where I feel like the vocal would maybe serve the song better if it wasn't as heavily processed as it is, or if there weren't as many layers on top of the vocal as there are in this mix. Fortitude also, the vocals were mixed kind of quietly. Gojira liked to do that, where the vocal sits in the background kind of, and there's space for the vocals to kind of ring out with the reverb and like these swirling like reverby accents on top. But I feel like for a solid, you know, heavy groove like this, where it sort of breaks down into the verse, it would be nice to have some drier, more present vocals, where there aren't as many like things happening simultaneously sort of distracting you from the main melody of it. You know what I'm saying? This chorus was cool, reminded me a lot of the Sphinx chorus, sort of the same melodic, it had a similar motif. I really love the transition from the chorus to the verse. That part is just really energizing, and like what I really love about Gojira comes through in that part, that transition where it goes from this sort of more ethereal thing to a more in-your-face, like tribal, just thumping groove. I like that riff. Nice grooves. Gojira, you know, as stripped back as their or sort of songwriting has become, in my opinion, when you compare it to the fucking stuff on like The Way of All Flesh and L'Enfant Sauvage, they always know how to make a nice groove happen. And I really enjoy that about this band still. There was a lot of shit happening there, but solo was cool. I'm always a bit like, oh, huh, when I hear a solo in a Gojira song because I'm just so not used to it. But, you know, he was putting some like sort of chromatic notes in there, mixing it up with the whammy pedal as well, I believe, or like an octave effect. It was interesting, sort of raw sounding. I like it. And then there was this other riff to close the solo section out, which I liked as well. Nice groove there. Nice powerful scream to end it off. I enjoy this as well. Rawness with that guitar sound at the end there. Okay. Alright. I see what you're doing, Gojira. I see you. Our time is now. Well, well, well. So what can I tell you about this track? As a avid Gojira enjoyer and a huge fan of their music and what they stand for. It's a solid track. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Delivering a lot of interesting things during that time. Gojira have always been a band that I think really know how to write an interesting song structurally. They always throw in like some interesting transition or some kind of extra accent that you wouldn't expect from a traditional metal song. Yet they never really feel like they stretch the idea too far, you know, according to my tastes. I feel like especially in their early material, they pack their songs. I mean, just pack them full of hectic, technical parts that still support the groove and the momentum of the song very well. So they know how to keep that tension, they know how to keep that balance. And it's very interesting to follow them now with their recent releases being more accessible, but it still has the Gojira spirit, you know? The Duplantier Bros are so good that pretty much anything they do will be at least decent. Everything Gojira does is listenable, in my opinion. They haven't done a song that is bad. Gojira clearly want to write songs that the sort of layman metal fan can enjoy. And I feel like they have accomplished that with this song here, but there are still the Gojira-isms in there and the little details, the little embellishments that make them great. On top of this sort of, what you could call a pretty accessible metal formula. So I appreciate what they're doing here in that sense because I just love Gojira a lot. But for the song itself, for what it is, as a song in their discography, I'm not hyper impressed by it because I feel, as I mentioned, it sounded a lot like the Fortitude stuff. Of course, it's going to do that because it came out last year, you know, they're in that zone right now. But I feel like as a listener of this band, there isn't much new stuff that is interesting enough to keep my attention to where I would listen to this over like a Cut Off, The Link, or From Mars to Sirius, for example. Although at this point I've listened to those songs so much that I'm kind of tired of them. But every once in a while I'll go back and listen to their older material and just be re-blown away by the technical mastery, by the just force that is Gojira, you know, and especially live. I mean, these guys crush. Yeah, overall, nice groovy track. Gojira, still slap. Vocals, not my favorite, but there were some pretty powerful screams from Joe. You know, drums are tight. Mario like never overplays, which still never ceases to amaze me. Guitar work is, you know, regular Gojira riffing, heavy. Some interesting effects with the solo and stuff going on. You know, they're throwing some spice in there. Overall decent track. Maybe I should like have a rating system. What do you guys think about that? Should I rate it like a 4 out of 5 or 8 out of 10? Like what rating system is good? You guys tell me. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for today. See you guys either when I come out with a video that isn't something like this, or another band or musician that I enjoy comes out with new music that I will react to. Thank you.